Alright, a little background about how I came up with this video topic. So I originally was going to rank all the Pokemon regions from worst to best. But when I got to the Kalos region, I came to realize that one of my favorite things about the Kalos region was its anime. And even before I was making this list, I thought the XYZ anime was the best. But with it really gone now, I truly just miss it. So instead, for this week's video, I'm going to give you my top 5 reasons to why I believe the Pokemon XY and XYZ series were the best Pokemon anime ever produced. Reason number 5. The Kalos Pokemon. The Kalos League forever changed the landscape of the Pokemon world with the introduction of the fairy typing. And I really love the fairy typing, and it was a genius move by the Pokemon Company. Many previous Pokemon have greatly benefited from gaining the fairy typing. But it wasn't just that. It was some of the Pokemon that were introduced in the Kalos region. Greninja, for example, marked the first time I ever chose a starter that wasn't a fire type. It was Charmander, Cyndaquil, Torchic, Chimchar, Tepig. But when I saw that Froakie, I was like, I really like that frog. And then the evolutions were released, and my fate was sealed. Greninja was for me. But I can't forget about Talonflame, Aegislash, Sylveon, Goomy, Trevenant, which in my opinion has the greatest shiny form ever, Noivern, and of course, Zygarde. And to top it all off, we were introduced to Mega Evolutions. And to be honest, I much prefer Mega Evolutions to Z Crystals. Mainly because if I was an elite trainer, you won't catch me doing those silly dances. But more importantly, just design wise, some Megas are just fantastic to look at. Reason number 4. The art style. And before y'all kill me, I'm not talking about animation style. Because animation style and art style are completely different things. And to be honest, the last couple Pokemon series have had great animation style. I just truly miss the art style of XYZ compared to that of Sun and Moon. Mainly because of the atrocity that was bestowed upon my childhood hero. I really don't know how you go from this, where Ash looks like a badass and older and just more mature, to this. And by the way, if you think I hate the Sun and Moon anime because Ash looks awful, you're wrong. Because I hated how he looked in the Best Wishes anime too. I just really like when he looks older. Because I already accepted that Ash will never age properly, so at least let me pretend through his design. Reason number 3. The Pokemon League and the main villain arc. Let's talk about the Pokemon League. First off, there were 2 trainers that I couldn't wait for them to face Ash in a battle. Both Shota or Sawyer in the dub and Alan actually showed us that they were capable trainers throughout the anime. Especially Alan. He, honest to God, is one of my favorite characters ever shown in a Pokemon anime. But what I really appreciated was how intense and amazing the battles were. Like Shota vs Ash was mind-blowing. But I really loved Alan vs Ash because, yes, I was disappointed that Ash lost. But at least he lost to someone we know could beat him. It wasn't another Tobias situation. It wasn't a random trainer like Harrison. It wasn't inferior trainers like the dude from Black and White or that kid from the Hoenn League. The fact that I can't even remember the last 2's names shows you how irrelevant they should have been. But he lost to someone that was a clear-cut, better / stronger trainer than him. Just watch the Mega Evolution movies. Moving on to the villain arc, I don't want to say too much, but if you haven't seen the Zygarde / Team Flare arc, go right now. I think Disney XD is showing the XY or XYZ anime at the moment, so go watch it if you haven't. It is without a doubt in my mind the best arc that was ever shown in any Pokemon anime. No other Pokemon arc has ever had me begging the week to go faster so I could watch the next episode. Now, in all fairness, I do that with a lot of animes like Attack on Titan, but I never felt that way for a Pokemon anime until that arc started. That's why I love this so much. Reason number 2. The characters. I truly loved the entire XYZ gang. This version of Ash is my favorite version of him. He cut all the BS out and actually tried to build a great team to win the Kalos League. None of that "I'm not going to evolve you" nonsense. Clement is the best Brock replacement we ever had. But when you're compared to Tracy and Silent, that isn't saying much. But as a character himself, Clement just stood out for me. His shy and geeky tendencies went perfectly with Ash's cool kid-like persona. It's kinda hard for me to explain, but the dynamic of that nerdy kid being best friends with the most popular kid in school has always been personally one of my favorites. Then there's Serena. And must I repeat how much I love her as a character? She developed so much throughout the series that I can make a whole video about her character development. Wait a second, I actually did, and I don't want this video being too long, so I'll just leave a link to 2 videos in which I talk about her. So just check that in the description below. But just know, she is personally my favorite Pokegirl, so she made the series much more enjoyable. Next we have Bonnie, who was just so damn adorable and a much better child character than Max. And we can't forget about Squishy either. Reoccurring characters like Miette and the Kalos rivals weren't the greatest, but they did help move the plot along well and help our main heroes grow, especially in the case of Serena. Oh, and we can't forget about Clembot. Still trying to recover from that. But what I really loved about the characters was just the way they interacted with each other. They really felt like the tightest group since the original series. Bonnie and Serena had a big sister, little sister like relationship. There were little scenes of them just playing in their tents at night. And the way Bonnie supported her in everything, and some things, always put a smile on my face. Likewise with Ash and Clement. I just felt the brotherhood between them, especially later on in the series. And to add on, the interactions of their Pokemons were amazing to see. That's actually one of my favorite things about the Sun and Moon anime, the interactions of everyone's Pokemon. But in XYZ, the way the Pokemon always just goofed off just made me giggle a little. Dawn's Piplup will forever be my favorite comedy relief Pokemon, but Clement's Chespin is a very close second. Reason number 1. I honest to God thought Ash had a chance. This is the only series that I really thought Ash would win the league and complete his journey. That was my theory from the beginning, and I'll get to that in a second. But in this series, Ash just seemed more mature. He seemed destined to win. Throughout his journey, he seemed like a competent trainer. There weren't those rookie mistakes that he constantly does when he goes to a new region and resets. He also fully evolved all his Pokemon, which marked the first time he ever did that in any region. Ash was also the teacher of the group, as everyone in his group looked to Ash for guidance. It's funny because at one point I actually thought they aged Ash, because in all fairness, he didn't really act like a 10-year-old in the XY and XYZ series. Then there was more shipping, and the upcoming 20th anniversary of the Pokemon that really helped me believe that my theory of Ash winning the league would come true. I don't know why, but I thought that after 20 years, Pokemon will finally let Ash win, give him a great farewell, and finally move on to a new protagonist that a new generation of fans could grow up with, like I did, and probably everyone watching this video did with Ash. All the dominoes were set. Ash had a great team. He seemed ready. All the more shipping moments made me feel like they would likely end up together at the end. And then there was the 20th anniversary coming up, and that would have been a perfect opportunity for them to say goodbye to Ash and introduce a new protagonist. But I was wrong. And that's 100% okay, because the XY and XYZ series rejuvenated my love for the franchise. Because to be honest, from like 2012 and most of 2013, I didn't really care too much about Pokemon. I still really liked it, but not as much as I do now. Like, I played the black and white games, but I didn't really replay them too much. Then there was the Best Wishes series, which wasn't great. so my interest in the franchise just started to fade naturally. What's crazy is that it wasn't until some girl in one of my freshman classes in college saw me drawing random Pokemon in my notebook and came out to me and was like, "You like Pokemon? Because if you do, you should really watch the XYZ series. It's great." So instead of focusing on our class, which was 3 hours long, we just watched the first 7 episodes of the anime. And just like that, I became obsessed with Pokemon again, and went to all my friends that at one point watched or played Pokemon and told them about the new series, and a lot of them got back into the franchise as well. So for all the reasons I stated in this video, and reasons that I can't possibly put into words, I truly believe the XY and XYZ series were the best Pokemon animes ever produced. Thanks for watching. I'll see ya next time.